Malawi's economy is agro-based, and this is a fact. That over 80% of the farmers are subsistence is another fact. And due to high illiteracy levels among these farmers, they lack the capacity to manage the hard-earned yields of various cash crops. Lack of coordination and cohesiveness makes these farmers vulnerable to the so-called middlemen or vendors who have exploited them in the pretext of providing readily available markets within their locality.
Vendors used to come here to buy rice from the farmers, and most of the rice was going across. So most of the people were very reluctant that our rice is going out. But when the cooperative came in as a big buyer, so most members in the farmers became very happy, and that they were selling the rice to the cooperative.
Cholinga chake cha ife mabanja chinali chakuti tipeze misika yodalirika pa mbewu zimene ife timalima dera lino. Umene timalima dera lino ni kalero omwe tidambo limamtedza mwamphamvu dera lino. Mtedzo umenewu ndiwo umene anthu ambiri amalima dera lino, ndiwonso umene timaufunira kuti pakhale msika wodalirika.
In addition, inadequate capacity of farmers to add value to their produce, coupled with the exploitation aspect by vendors, has cost the farmers in Malawi a life's transforming fortune. It is for this reason that ICCO, a Netherlands-based non-governmental organization working in Malawi with such farmers, is here to build their capacity on value addition in the areas of rice and oil extraction from seeds through a project called Fair Economic Development Project. Brenda Kacheche is the ICCO Malawi's country manager, and she gives some background to the project.
More specifically, we have two program areas. One of those is what we call Fair Economic Development Program, FED in short, which has built on what we have been implementing as the conventional food security program. From our reflection in 2010, we said after farmers have adopted best practices of agricultural farming, the question of access to markets arises. So it's on the basis of that we developed the FED program.
The Fair Economic Development Program is implemented in cooperation with other NGOs such as CISP. Francesco Mazzarelli is the country representative for CISP, and he adds,
the main mission of CISP is to contribute to the achievement of the development goals through a constructed dialogue with the main stakeholder and with the effective implementation of the development and emergency programs.
This process involves cooperatives to promote transformation among members of the rural masses of Malawi. Daliso Makoka is the Fair Economic Development Program Manager.
ICCO is working in two value chains. We have rice value chains and the oilseeds value chain. The oilseed value chain, we are looking at groundnut, soybean and sunflower. We are concentrating on cooperative development so that the cooperatives then they can interface with the market. So when the farmers, once they do their production, then they can push their product to the market through the farmer cooperatives.
CISP met ICCO in 2012 with in 2012 when ICCO decided to found the Rice Value Chain Development Project in Karonga. This project, the aim of this project is to improve the farmer income through a better production and harvest management.
Out of the numerous cooperatives benefiting from this program are Madisi Agro-Processing Cooperative in Dowa District, Wovwe Rice Cooperative in Karonga, Machichi Cooperative in Mchinji, and Bwanje Vare Rice Scheme Cooperative in Goromoti Dedza.
These cooperatives are indeed capacitated to produce high-quality seeds with added value products and managerial skills to transform their societies. Maswana Ulaya is the president of Madisi Agro-Processing Cooperative, and he narrates.
Ndiso ni ndondomeko imene limatsalira mcholinga chonena kuti cooperative imene ipite patsogolo pofuna kukozadi mitengo imene ili yoti ipindulira alimi wathu, komanso cholinga china nchoti tipezetse mwayi wa ntchito kwa achinyamata wathu amene akadamathuchira zina ndi zina kumudzi. Komanso tifunanso takhala cholinga choti dera lathu lino lisinthe, makomo athu asinthe, cholinga choti ticheko munsinga za umphawi.
Farmer exploitation as one evil in the poverty trap is not only perpetrated by the informal vendors, but even the formalized institutions in the tobacco farming sector. Kaso Chitete has decided to unshackle himself from this dreadful trap by abandoning tobacco farming for sunflower.
Umene ndi mapanga ndulimi wa foli ya wabale. Koma kuchokera mu nthemene namba kugwira ntchito ya wabale. Na kabenu kauza kwa zaka zingapo. Koma be monga muonera koma chimene chani patsa kuti ndi sinthe kulima foja. Uone kuti pacho chonse mchanithandiza mwina nkadakhala manga nyumba yabwino. Koma nyumba yabwino ndima ilakalaka mmoyo mwanga.
Panopo nyumba ndi imene?
Nyumba ni imene. Kodi munthu nkulu ngati nizikha nyumba ngati. Koma so panopa ni kutsimikiza mwathunthu kuti mena joina ngati cooperative ya Madisi Agro-Processors. Imene nione kuti ndilina ndi chembezo ni khani masomphenya kuti nyumba ini chotsayi. Ndimangapo nyumba ya njerwa. Ndi zimene panopa chitutu ziyanga ndili nacho. Ulimi ngati huu ungatithandize chifukwa sulibe fertilizer. Ndero nangati kuti so mwina so malimidwe yake amakhaso mwina machepesedwe yake alimidwe ya ndrama zoletsa kuno kumunda zimakhaso chepelapo.
Justin Zarafi used to grow tobacco too, but has decided to do likewise after a humiliating tobacco season.
Pamene pano ndipo paja panali nyumba ija. Ndipo nyumba imeneyi tinayigamula nkumba ndwela zimene zili apazi.
He is in the process of building a more permanent house from the proceeds of his first sunflower growing season.
Nyumba imeneyi nuyembekeza kuti itukhala zipinda 5. Nimafuna itakhala ya malata. Chifukwa yonena kuti nyumba imeneyi kuti nayimanga nyumbayo nkonena kuti munthu uri azipeze ulemu osathawa nyumbamo ndiye kuti ni malata. Komanso chitukha chitsazo china chimenena kuti kunoku mpenda dzuwa lupira nawo patsogolo.
Getting out of the poverty trap is the main goal, and the engagement and training of managers in these cooperatives have boosted the capacity to develop proposals so as to even access more funds from other funding agencies for the cooperatives.
CISP and ICCO start to work hard on the cooperative capacity building, supporting them with machine, a processing machine, and with the training on management, capacity building. We decide to promote to get a cooperative manager that after several training supported by ICCO, implemented by CISP, he was able start reorganizing the marketing strategy for the cooperative. After that, we training the manager, the cooperative manager, to get to approach national and international donors. That's when get access to Business Linkage Matching Fund and United States Development Fund that were used to build a big warehouse to get more capacity in the packages.
The farm tractor in the background is one result from the cooperative managers initiative. Watson Kanchiriko is a manager at Madisi Agro Processors.
For cooperative manage, ilindi imakhala ndi ma indicators atatu. Indicator yoyamba ndi yakuti munthu amayenera kuti kodi kuyamene wa join ya cooperative pa nthawi inoyi kodi yampeza ali mu nyumba iti ya udzu, ya malata, ya magetsi. Kachiwiri kodi cooperative imene wamba kugwira ndi cooperative kodi pa ndrama pa tsiku amapeza ndrama zingati, pa mwezi, pa chaka. Nanga indicator yachitatu, munthu ameneyu kodi pa zaka 5 zakumbuyozi chakudya chimene amachipeza chimamukwanira pa chimathapa zaka pa miyezi 3. Ndiye tionetsetsa kuti ma members onse, ma shareholders onse a cooperative imeneyi azitha kuona kusintha, ndipo munthu mmene alili azitha kumabwera pa mpoyera kuti athandizike monga amene angathandizikire kubanja kwake. Tindi chikhulupiriro chonse kuti tikhuzimakolola zinthu zambiri pamene kale tinali ovutika kuti tikhuzulima bwanji kuti tipeze mbewu yochuluka. Ndiye ndi chikhulupiriro chonse kuti tidzakwaniritsa kudyetsera kuperekera zofunikira zonse mu factory yathu, ndipo Malawi idzarukuka, eni ake akulima adzalemba anzawo ntchito.
The impact is also evident in the living standards for the cooperative members for the rice farming groups in Wovwe and the government-managed Bwanjevare rice scheme in Golmoti Dedza. Rodney Kaonga is a member of the Wovwe rice cooperative in Karonga. He has learnt a modern rice growing method called SRI. With the implementation of SRI, he has seen his life being transformed.
Pambere ndambe kulima mpunga nkhawa munthu wakusuzikira chomene chifukwa njara ikafumangapo yayi pamuzi, kavualiro kakawa kakusuja, nyumba nayo nkhavavya yakwenerera iwemeya kuti munthu wangagonamo. Pa nyumba pane sono nkhava mnyumba iheni ya kudinda ya utheka kwa sono na nyumba ya marata nanga uli pasi palitope kwene ayayi ngona kuti kuchanya kuli marata njerwa magesi nao ni kunjija sono school fees nkovulikako mu ulimi wene uwo nina vana au vakuvirika fees ni 3 mnyake ndena pa nyengo ya sono kwamba skulu ku Bunda College of Agriculture, mnyake wali form 4 pa nyengo hii wale Mbenge ulendo huu, mnyakeso mwanakazi naye wale Mbenge ulendo form 4 sono fees ngovuilika kufumira mu ulimi wene uwo.
Taona so uweme ukulu chifuka taona mukusindika kufuma pa chiyambi na mutire sono tapambanisia pa chiyambi tikavanga vakusuzikira chomene ngati nambe ulimi wa mpungawo kweni sono mtiri kwambira ulimi wa mpungawo mtulimira yayi kovulika nditu mwayoera dada ama school fees chakulia pa nyumba chikuwa chakukwana vane chakulia kusangalala twakovulika pa nyumba ngati kangoro aka takasanga mulimi wenu uwo tung'ombe tili nato na tumbuzi ntheulapira so mviliri apa vulongola kuti tavantu tava kusintha chifukwa nyengo yonse tikavavi kwenisoni tili navo ndikuti tikusintha.
Tagulisha cooperative, atagulisha cooperative ndipo nkagula kongoro nagula kona nkhamba kwizi ntchito yake yakuti zikunivwira kulima msikimu mura zikunivwiraso para nalima katundu yula kuyega kuiza nawo kunyumba kuyega so mpunga ura kutanawo kumsika. So transport panyengo ya sono nkuona kuti transport nili nayo na kunivwiraso kusanga kandarama nyengo ya mundu mnya wasuzika akumba kuti wovwiri mbwe nguyega ndikuti nakasanga kandarama kakuti ningagulishira ntchito pa nyumba mpangishanga hayara nyengo zinyake nyake a mundu wasuzika waka kumovwira napoti kumovwiraso.
Ine mbuto ngulima ya ni mpunga, mbuto yake variety yake ni kilombero. Kalimira kwa ngulima chifukwa cha kovurika na masambiro kufumira ku ICCO na ku CISP. Ulimi wake ngulima ngwa SRI. Ulimi huu tukuchura kuti SRI chifukwa tikulima kamo tikupanda mpunga kamoza patapanda mpunga kamoza ukusweka nacho mene ndipo so ukuwa navuna iweme kalimiro ngasono ako vanyitu au vakutisambija varangizi vari kutisambija kuti tikwena kuti tilime ngendene.
The Malawi Government Minister of Agriculture Field Officer explains the initiative on rice intensification.
Pamene yalima mazala mbeu mwina zitatu olofolo ena mpakana maonjeza mbeu mwina 6 pa phando limozi koma kafukufuku atabwera panapezeka kunena kuti njira ijanga alimi akagwisa ntchito alimisa mapindula nayo because amagwirisa ntchito mbeu yambiri komaso mpunga ujasuma kula kwambiri pamakhala kupikisana nde pamapeto pake zokolwa zimachepa. Nde atabwera ICCO anabwera ndi ziphunziso za timati SRI yomwe timati systems of rice intensification kuna kuti pakhale kusintha kuchoka kumene alimi ankalimira mpunga kalelo kuti panopo ayambe njira ina yoti akhoza kupindula because cholinga chenicheni choti mulima kamalima ayenera kupeza phindu lokwanira kuti athandizike pakhomo pake. Nde tikamakamba za SRI timanena malimidwe a masiku ano pa nkhani ya mpunga.
The CISP Director Francesco Mazzarelli adds on the SRI method.
Is the introduction of SRI, the system of rice intensification, technical approach that pushed and give the possibility to with this technique to improve the production, and not only to improve the production but even to decrease the cost of the production.
In addition to working with the cooperatives, ICCO partners with other NGOs and to some extent the government departments to effect thorough implementation of the set goals and ensure sustainability of the projects. And Yusufu Kadwala is the CISP manager in Karonga. He adds on the value addition in the rice value chain project.
To test the approach of VSL in combination with SRI, that was more like the production area. Thereafter, after that period, there was a challenge, more especially it was marketing issue because farmers produced the bumper yield. They doubled their harvest. So that challenge was sat down together with ICCO, our donor, as well as Christian Aid with CSP. What can we do next in terms of how can we solve this challenge? Then we went into phase 1.
After that, the problem, the issue that CISP and ICCO identified, it was how to stock this product and how to sell it for a good price. That's why we thought to the cooperative system. The cooperative system was already present in Malawi, but was not very developed. In fact, there were like farmer association that without management, without machine, without a warehouse where to stock things, and without capacity of farmer on marketing, on processing, and so on.
Christian Aid is supporting rice producers in Karonga, especially those who are in cooperatives, about 4 cooperatives in Karonga, to produce, market, but also add value to the rice that they're having. So currently we have targeted some cooperatives to empower them to have a very good product quality, but also in terms of quantity to produce good quantities of rice.
The main agenda in all this is to deal with the ugly face of poverty, which has trapped our societies through the farming system. The ICCO country manager once again
trying to reach farmers to increase their household income. Now, what has changed in terms of our approach in FED is that we also trying to work with farmers as enterprising partners themselves, capacitating them to be agents of their own change. So we're trying to mobilize them or facilitate their mobilization into cooperatives, strengthen their capacity there, inject some resources, maybe in year 1 or year 2, depending at the level at which we found them, where they can procure inputs. But then in subsequent years, we anticipate that they can also grow and be able to procure those inputs themselves. We broker markets for them. Then they can also proceed to be able to negotiate better pricing and better markets.
To ensure that the cooperatives achieve their goal as business entities, ICCO FED manager Daliso Makoka has this to say.
In other areas where the cooperatives are weak, we are bringing in managerial skills and also some technical skills to see how can we make the cooperative really run as a business entity, because we all know that the cooperative is a business entity, but there are some aspects that are missing in most of the cooperatives. So we ensure that we inject a lot of support in the cooperatives, that they are really technically running as a business entity, bringing in qualified managers. Cooperatives have been there for years without being audited, so we are all bringing all those corporate governance aspects so that the cooperatives are delivering as they are intended to do, so that the farmers that are members of the cooperatives are getting their support.
The challenges would not deter the members from attaining their dream, but a learning ground for a greater achievement, the ICCO country manager states.
So as of now, a number of these cooperatives have now more informed trustees who are executing their governance role more effectively than before. We also have cooperatives that have increased in their levels of production, and on that basis better able to access markets, and maybe to even assume position where they can negotiate better prices on the market. And also one of the issues that we're looking at is other than working in pockets, we also want to increase our turnover so that we can reach much more than the number of farmers we are reaching right now. The approach, of course, remains strengthening the structures within which the farmers are organizing themselves. There is the cooperatives, the farmer clubs, but also maybe bringing out their voice on the platform of, say, unions, where they can also engage with policymakers, with government, and the private sector. So we're looking at interfacing and building those spaces as well. We are looking at broadening our own coalitions, because we believe that as ICCO we cannot achieve all this on our own. We need to collaborate with others. While our role remains to be that of working with different farmers across several value chains. We also started with specific value chains like oil seeds and rice.
The benefits that we are seeing from this project is that farmers are able to reap the benefits of rice marketing, but also they are also able to participate at national level, because we have some farmers who are coming from these cooperatives who are participating at national level in the rice value chain platform.
Noticing the economic viability of rice for this country, the National Rice Development Platform, a grouping of rice cooperatives, was formed, and Professor David Kamchacha is the president.
This is a grouping of different stakeholders in the rice sector. It came about with the support from ICCO, but also AICC and CISANET. One of the things that the three organizations looked at is that rice is one of the commodities which is strategic to this nation. It can contribute both to food security but also to foreign exchange earnings. It has got a great potential, but that the players on the ground, both the farmer, the millers, the traders, there was no coordination, but also the farmer did not have that support to increase production and productivity. There was a need to look at different intervention in the whole value chain, where the farmer should also be part and parcel of the whole value chain. That's when 3 years ago there was this initiative to come up with the National Rice Development Platform to initiate the development of the policy in conjunction and collaboration with the Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Industry and Trade. And I'm pleased to also report at this moment that as of last year, the National Rice Development Platform came up with its own strategy for the next 5 years. And also with the Ministry of Agriculture, there is a national rice development strategy, which is a government policy. But when the Minister of Agriculture was launching it, as a NRDP has been given the mandate to ensure its implementation. So we are in the process of implementing this national rice development strategy. We are looking at how do we increase production and productivity of the smallholder farmer across the country. How do we develop the marketing systems and information systems? How do we increase the uptake of technologies, for example? So we have 3-4 thematic areas under the National Rice Development Strategy, which within those thematic areas, we have got a thematic area that is looking at issues of production.
This will ensure sustainability of the initiatives ICCO has started on the cooperatives.
We are looking at more and increased collaboration with government. We already work with the Department of Cooperatives in the Ministry of Trade. Now, while ICCO does not directly inject capital, for example, in strengthening government structures, we take them as a key stakeholder. They make an input in the work that we're doing. So where we can, we're also looking at how we can hold hands with government in their respective line ministries. In the processes of building capacity of the farmers, we also want to align, while we deliver the training, we may deliver the trainings ourselves, we need to align our work to what has been said already by government in a range of the different policy documents that are already there. Because ultimately, we are all trying to work towards the same goal. Yeah, so, well, if I look at our portfolio much longer than this past year or two, when we went into FED, even in the food security work that we did, one of the key challenges that we faced has been that of capacity. Capacity, the challenge of capacity in itself has had a range of implications. If a partner does not have sufficient capacity, their absorption of the grants that we give out is compromised. The governance role that either their trustees or their boards can play over some of the For example, mismanagement of funds is also not trustworthy. However, ICCO believes that where there are those challenges, our role is not just to pull out, but to see how best we can assist. That's why we've had and we still maintain a component of building capacity of partners. But of course, that kind of change can only come if the partners themselves are interested to improve on their programming.
Apart from transforming individual families, cooperatives have turned around flourishing economies of the developed world to be what they are today.